Hello, my friends. My name is Adam, and I'm on a quest to be the most prolific reviewer of all time. And to do so, I review books, movies, plays, podcasts, and computer games. And that's the little introduction that I usually do off the top of my head for every video. And I don't know if you've noticed, I have like 500 and some odd videos on my channel, but I've never once actually reviewed a play or a podcast. And plays, I like them, but it's not like I have a great opportunity to go out and watch plays. But podcasts are something that I listen to all the time. And the reason why is I think that if you find a good podcast, it's kind of like reading a very long book. And I think some of the best podcasts that I've ever listened to have taught me a lot about the world, mostly about history, but not only, also about politics and economics and science. But the the first podcast that I'm going to review for this channel, although um, it might not be published first because I've actually reached out to the creator of the podcast and asked to share with you some audio of him. It's a podcast created by Mark Painter, and it's entitled The History of the 20th Century. And the thing that I like about it is that it is very, very thorough and very, very detailed. He doesn't go like day by day, year by year necessarily, but he touches upon themes and then he comes back to those themes. So obviously the First World War was like a big part of the 20th century. So he spends a lot of time on that, but he also spent a lot of time building up to that and actually dealing with the consequences in different episodes. Like for the year 1919, he went through all of the major powers and minor powers and India, and he talked about the things that were happening in those places. And the great thing about his podcast is that I think that it's really well researched and it's really, really engaging. He has a really good understanding of how to edit things with music, which I'm a horrible editor, you may have noticed, but he's much better at it than I am, and you can really enjoy listening to um, his podcast. It's really quite an enjoyable mixture of him speaking, and he has a very nice voice to narrate events, and also music. He has a very musical ear, and apart from that, he also has a very nice sense of humor. So I think that the good and bad thing about podcasts is that you have this sort of like parasocial relationship with the creators of the podcast. And it can be bad because you can assume a lot of things about that person, but it can be good because when you're listening to a really in-depth podcast, you kind of the personality of the presenter is very, very important. And I think Mark's personality is really, really great. But it's also not like he is focused on the task at hand. So you get like little details about his life, but it's not really about his life, which is also, uh, I don't want to say refreshing, but it's not like, hey, I'm learning about this and this is connected to my life. He's not like a selfish sort of presenter or self centered presenter, which, as somebody who is a little bit self centered, it's a breath of fresh air. And the other thing that I really quite appreciate is you'll learn a lot about kind of obscure historical things about what the German government was thinking and doing in World War One. You learn about people that you've never heard about from a historical point of view, but you'll also learn about movies and art and literature. Like he's not afraid of doing an entire episode about jazz, which is great because the history of any particular era is not just defined by the big political movements. In fact, it's probably more defined about how people live their lives every day. And I think that he's really good at doing that. So hopefully I was able to give you some sound clips of this podcast to encourage you to listen to it. But
American military commanders were divided. MacArthur wanted to invade the Philippines. Nimitz wanted to invade Saipan. Hap Arnold wanted B-29s based in China to bomb Japan. In the end, the Joint Chiefs went with all of the above. Welcome to the history of the 20th century.
If I was unable to get permission, don't hold that against him. It's still a great podcast, and I will put a link to his website where you can find episodes and you can support him on Patreon or buy him a cup of coffee. So that is all. Thank you. Oh, if you want to support me, I do have a Patreon, but I think that I'm going to wait until people actually watch my content a bit more often to encourage you to do that. But the best way that you can actually support me is by subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I reached 700 subscribers recently, which is crazy for me, but I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of March, which is a very ambitious goal, but who knows? 300 subscribers in about a month and a half. Can I do it? Can we do it? We'll see. So if you like what I do, please subscribe. If you have some comments, write them. That's also nice to hear. And if you're listening on Spotify, please give me a follow. Thank you. Bye-bye.